Hello everyone, Mr. Stevens here with the first lesson in our geometry unit. We're going to be looking at parallel lines and doing a bit of revision. You guys should already have seen a lot of this stuff in the past year or two, but we're going to go over it again because it is pretty important. So yeah, like I said, we're going to be focusing on angles around parallel lines and transversals. Hopefully you've seen these words here before, corresponding adjacent and co-interior angles. They're going to be the three pairs of angles we're going to be looking for around parallel lines. First thing I'm going to get you guys to do though is pause the video, take 2-3 minutes to answer these 4 questions, 4 things that we should already know. And when you start the video again, I'll give you the answers. All right, I've just filled in those answers for you there. You can take a second to read those and make sure you have the right thing. These, especially 3 and 4, are going to be important. If you've forgotten these, we're going to be using those words a fair bit throughout the course of this unit. So it's helpful now to take some time to put those things in your mind. Supplementary means 180 and complementary means 90. Right, 4 more. Again, pause the video, have a go at these. When you come back, the answers will be there. All right, and here are the answers to these questions. In particular, what I want you to note here is this response. That's going to be a useful piece of information, 360 degrees in a full revolution. And these isosceles triangles. 2 sides the same here and here, and 2 angles the same here and here. This is going to be something that we're going to actually rely on a lot over the course of this unit, particularly in our next lesson on triangles. All right, let's jump into parallel lines. You guys should have seen these before. We've got here a pair of parallel lines and a transversal is what we call that line that goes across them. We have that word up here in the lingo. If you don't remember what that means, transversals, that's this line that goes across the 2 parallel lines. So we're going to move through this fairly quickly, so you should have seen these before. This type of angle is a corresponding angle. And those are the same. What you can think of when you're thinking about corresponding angles is you can think about the letter F. If we follow these here, we've made a letter F where the 2 angles inside the F are the same. And we can draw these in a lot of different ways. We can draw our F this way, and these 2 angles are the same. We can draw it opposite to what we have here, and these 2 angles are the same. However you can fit an F in that set of parallel lines, the 2 angles inside the F will be equal. What we have down here is alternate. These 2 angles, what we're looking for here is a letter Z, and then the 2 angles inside the letter Z are equal. They can be this way, and they can also be the other way. These are also alternate angles. And the last one is co-interior. Now, the difference here with these ones that is important is that these angles aren't equal, they add to 180. You have either these 2 here on the inside on top, and you also have these 2 here on the bottom. They're co-interior, they add to 180. Now, if you guys would like to include this in your notes, then pause the video here and just quickly jot this down. But like I said before, you should have seen this in year 8 and year 9, so it should be revision for you now. Let's move on to actually using that to equate some angles. What I want us to do here is I want us to identify as many angles as we can that are the same. If you think you're confident in doing this without me, then go ahead and try and do it. I'm going to walk through it now. So we have A and B are equal because they are corresponding. If we draw our F here, A and B are inside the F. They are corresponding angles. There's another pair that I can think of. If we draw our Z here, we also have A and D. E and D are equal because they are alternate. Now, what else can we say about the angles in these parallel lines? Well, we can say that A plus D equals 180 because they are co-interior. The letter that we're looking for when we're talking about co-interior is, you can call it a C or you can call it a U. I've heard it taught both ways, whatever helps you think about it. The two letters that are part of either the C or the U are the two co-interior angles. We have another one up here, C. We haven't equated C to anything yet. And there are a few ways we could equate C. We could figure out what this was if we wanted, name that angle F. And then C would be a corresponding angle with F. We also know that another piece of revision is these kinds of angles. We call them vertically opposite and they are equal. So I think we're going to use that actually. We're going to say that A and C are equal because they are vertically opposite. If you want to add that to the first page, that would be fine as well. The letter we're looking for here is an X. These two angles in the X are equal, and these two angles are also equal in the X. Before we go on, one thing I want to show you, I want you to take note of from this slide is what I've done here. Every time I've made a statement about two angles being equal, I have put in brackets after that statement the reason why I can say what I've said. I've said that A and B are equal, and I've given a reason that they are corresponding angles. This is the habit we need to get into for this unit. This is how we need to answer our questions in this unit. If we say that two things are equal, or if we say that two things add up to 180 degrees, we have to say why we know that. We need to give a reason for everything we say in this unit. And you're going to have an opportunity to practice that now. You're going to decide with reasons whether the two pairs of lines are parallel. Using one of these things. Remember, these things are true in pairs of parallel lines. So if those things are not true, then the lines are not parallel. Pause the video, take 2 minutes to think about your answer for this, and then I will go through them when you come back. Right, if we look at these two angles we have here in part A, we can make a Z out of those. These are alternate angles. Therefore, these lines are parallel. This is the symbol for parallel because alternate angles are equal. But if we come over here and we look at these, 120 plus 50 does not equal 180. Therefore, the lines are not parallel because co-interior angles do not add to 180. Okay, you guys are going to do all the questions from exercise 7a on page 389. And before you start to complain, there are not that many questions. It only goes up to 10. And there aren't that many parts to each question. So you guys can get started working on that. After you finish those, you should be able to, sorry, I don't have my success criteria at the bottom. You should be very comfortable with identifying these three types of pairs of angles after you finish the questions. And this is what a lot of your questions are actually going to focus on. You'll be given a set of parallel lines and you'll be asked to find an unknown angle using these three relationships. So you guys can go ahead and get started on that. Thank you.